All right, everybody. First of all, let me tell you, I miss you guys. But y'all are trying to give me a headache not being able to do this math that we talked about before I left. So I'm sorry I can't be there, and I'm sorry Miss E is out sick. Let's send her good vibes. I'm going to try to show you a couple examples of how to do two-step equations. Again, and you better watch this video and then try to do the couple of assignments that are in there to practice on your own. You can watch this video over and over. There's also the other YouTube video that we watched that will also help you. You're going to have to do a little bit of this on your own. You're in ninth grade. I keep telling you that. So it's okay that you watch and try to figure some of this out on your own. We can't hold your hands the whole entire time. So I'm going to try to just go ahead and do a little bit. Let me see if I can bring it up. Let's see. All right, and let's see if I can make this work. So we did some simple equations where you might have 3 plus x equals 5. And this is very simple. What plus 3 will give you 5? You would just already know x equals 2. That's pretty simple. It might get a little more tricky when it might be 3 minus x equals 5. That might be a little tricky because you're like, wait a minute, 3 is smaller than 5. So you could do this type of work, subtract 3 from both sides. That would make this negative x equals 2. The negative goes over here, and so x equals negative 2. 3 minus negative 2, the two negatives make a positive, and that would work. That's still kind of easy, right? But now this week, you're working on two-step equations. So for example, you might have the equation 5b plus 2 equals 17. And I keep telling you, you have to balance. And if you looked at the other video, you have to go backwards. So where we usually do addition at the end of the problem, in order to solve, because in an equation, we have to take care of addition first. What's the opposite of addition? Subtraction. So we got to get rid of this plus 2 by doing minus 2. But we can't just do it here. We have to do it on both sides of the equation. What is left over here? Plus 2 minus 2 is 0. So now it's gone. You have 5b equals 17, take away 2, which is 15. This is straightforward. 5 times what equals 15? Well, you can divide by 5. What's left? b equals 15 divided by 5 is 3. Is that true? Well, let's go back up here and say 5 times 3 is 15 plus 2 equals 17. That would work. All right, I'm going to do about 3 more problems to see if you can start to make sense of this on your own. So let's try this one. 4x minus 2 equals 14. We would normally do the multiplication first and then the subtraction. But because we're trying to find the x, we're going to go backwards and we're going to deal with the subtraction first. What's the opposite of subtraction? Addition. Let's get rid of the 2 by basically moving it to the other side. Now it's gone. Only thing left on this side is 4 times x equals 14 plus 2 is 16. You can just think 4 times what equals 16. That's pretty straightforward. But if you don't know and you're going to use a calculator, you do the opposite of times, which is division. You have x equals 16 divided by 4 is 4. We can go back up here and check it. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 take away 2 is indeed 14. So we know that the answer is right. Let's do something that has division in it instead of multiplication. So, for example, I might have, this one's pretty hard, so I'm gonna try to make an easy one. Let's just do n over 8 plus 1 equals negative 23. Let's see if that works, right? So we would say division first, player one, but we got to get rid of this addition one because it doesn't have an end. So what's the opposite of addition? Subtraction, right? This is gone. The n over 8 is still there, so I'm going to write it down here. Negative 23 and negative 1, if I put that in the calculator, I'm going to get negative 24, right? And then what divided by 8 equals negative 24? Well, I don't know. What's the opposite of division? I don't want to do it that way, excuse me. I would multiply by 8 on both sides, right? That's gone. It leaves the n by itself. And then I could use my calculator. I didn't say you couldn't use the calculator and say, well, what's 24 times 8? 192. We got to keep the negative. If I took this 192 and put it back up in my calculator, 192 negative, divide by 8 plus 1, I would get negative 23. So I know my answer is correct. I'm going to do one more. And by now, you should have figured this out. And if not, rewatch the video. Watch my video. Watch the other video that the guy did. And you should be able to figure this out. One more time. Let's do another one. I'm going to just make up one. Let's do x over 5 plus 8 equals negative 12, right? What's the first thing I'm going to get rid of? I'm going to get rid of the 8 because I want to move it away from the x, right? So I'm going to subtract because that's the opposite of plus. Put subtract over here. 8, take away 8 is 0, so it's gone. This is still here, so I'm going to move it down here. Negative 12 minus 8, if I put in a calculator, I'm going to get negative 20, right? I'm going to say, what's the opposite of division? Multiplication by the 5, because that's what I want to get rid of. 5 divided by 5 is 1, leaves the x all by itself. 20 times 5 is 100. There's one negative, so I have to keep it. If I want to check, I can go to my calculator. I can put in negative 100 divided by 5, and then add 8, and guess what I get? Negative 12. All right, let me see if I can. I don't know how to get rid of. All right. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I'm hoping that's going to help you. Look at this video a couple of times. Try it out. You can work together. You don't have to work by yourself. Look at this video, look at the YouTube video, and then go ahead and try out the problems. Do the Google form one, because then you can it'll do a quick check to see if you got the answer right. Do the Quizlet, that's a good practice, and then do the boom cards. And I think you should be able to get your 14 or 13 that you need to get a passing grade. All right. I am also available. You can text me. Some of you have texted me problems, and I was able to show you in a text message how to do it. On the boom cards, it is really just about how you type the answer in. Say it's x equals 2. You're going to put that in with no spaces. That's part of the problem with the boom cards, but it doesn't mean you can't do it. I miss you. I can't wait to see you. I'll be back on Monday, but I'm checking. By the way, I'm checking your SELs, and I can see who's doing it and who's not doing it every day. I'm checking the attendance question. So if you don't do the attendance question, I am marking you absent. Don't play games with me. Y'all know the rules, and I can't wait to see you. Hugs, and I'll be there before you know it.